D'Angelo Russell isn't going anywhere. Lakers guard staying with the Lakers, telling Swish Cultures he plans to exercise his $18.7 million player option. D'Lo coming off of a strong offensive season for the Lakers, big part of their playoff push, but the defensive end was an adventure at times. He says he's decided to play for J.J. Redick, says he sees himself thriving under his guidance. He has thrived beyond the three-point line. What's the past tense of thrive? He made 200
both of those
and 26 threes last season. That is the most in a season in Lakers history, surpassing Nick Van Exel's total from the mid-90s by a large margin. Russell also shooting a career-best 41.5% on threes last season. Let's talk the business of basketball here with our NBA front office insider, Bobby Marks, is with us. Bobby, what does D'Angelo Russell opting in now mean for the flexibility for this Lakers franchise?
I thought all along D'Angelo Russell controlled the Lakers offseason, not LeBron James, based on his $18.7 million player option. We have Russell opting in right now. They are at $135 million. A number to keep an eye on is $189 million. That's the second apron, the dreaded second apron we've been talking about, the inability to aggregate contracts, the inability to take back more money. Look what happens when we put LeBron James in there. We're getting up there.
Oh.
We're at 184.5.
Oh, we're right there.
You're about $4 million below. And that doesn't include signing restricted free agent Max Christie. That's a priority for them. So if you sign Max Christie, you're going to go over the second apron. So it basically limits what they can do this offseason, barring moving some money here. But what you see in the Denver series is basically going to be the same roster returning, except for, Dalton Knecht and, of course, Bronny James.
Dalton Knecht coming in, Bronny James coming in, but you're talking about a second-round draft pick, all due respect to the James bloodline. Let's keep it in L.A. We're just hours away from Paul George's deadline to opt in or test free agency. What are the possibilities there?
Well, keep an eye on Philadelphia.
Okay.
Sixers are in the driver's seat. They have the most money out of any. They can basically just go out and sign Paul George outright. They can just slide that $49 million through at $56 million. I mean, they don't even need to cooperate with the Clippers. They can just go out and offer them 4 years, $212 million. Done deal. You slide in. You still have a little bit more money to go out in free agency if you're Philadelphia, and we could see free agency over for most of the league within 24 hours here. He controls free agency because what happens with him in Philadelphia? What's plan B with the Clippers? Could they maybe work out a signing trade, create a trade exception, maybe go after DeMar DeRozan? A lot of different variables there for Paul George, but Philadelphia is certainly a team to keep an eye on here.
Okay, so not just the biggest domino, essentially the domino in free agency, the one.
Yes, he is outside of LeBron James, and we think he's going back to L.A.
Yeah.
Paul George is the one to keep an eye on.
Okay, let's go from that Paul to this Paul and Chris Paul and the Warriors. They're delaying their date to lock in his contract. They're pushing that to tomorrow. How could that play out?
Well, it's a big one because where they are, remember we talked about that 190 number, the second apron?
Yeah.
Look where they are, 174. That includes Chris Paul, okay? We haven't talked about Klay Thompson. Now, if you keep Chris Paul and let's say you bring Klay Thompson back, boom, 199. Look at their luxury tax bill. $103 million.
More than 50%
so that's why
of the salary.
That's why Chris Paul and Klay Thompson are connected here. If you waive Chris Paul, you can bring back Klay Thompson, but you can't trade Chris Paul and take back a $30 million. So keep an eye on Chris Paul, certainly Klay Thompson there.
Okay, speak to that for just a second, though, because if you trade Chris Paul dollar for dollar,
you're getting 30 more back. It's not like you're getting. You could just waive him and take the money off.
And there's no exemption when it comes to the second apron. Right?
No,
you get that 30 back,
no. You don't want to be when you lose in the play-in.
Yeah.
You do not want to be in the second apron.
It's common sense from Bobby Marks. And breaking down the numbers from Bobby Marks. And a reminder, free agency officially starts tomorrow, 6 p.m.